I think they're one, like hoping to make an example out of him, and two, like they're just hoping to also just cause more chaos with this.
If you do this, that like heads are going to.
It's not too late.
Now or never.
It's now, I guess. Right.
It's very subtle.
I thought it was good.
Mytholaboo. I like it.
Yep.
Well, hello, anyone who's ever been so drunk after Great American Beer Fest that you bought the hottest burrito ever and then had hiccups like Pepe Le Pew in front of an entire prom trade home. Welcome to another
That's never happened to you?
greatly debated episode of Drunken Demonic. Yes, it's happened to me. That's why. Welcome to a daytime edition of Drunken Demonic.
Was that solo this happened? Sorry, I don't usually ask you about these questions, but it's quite specific. I honestly want to know the details.
I definitely went to Great American Beer Fest with my friends and left by myself.
Oh.
Hammered drunk.
Irish
obviously.
goodbye?
Yeah.
One of those ones you kind of just fell off the face of the earth to everyone?
On the way to the light rail, this is when I lived in Denver, there was just a guy outside selling burritos in the cooler, and he goes, burrito? I goes, yes.
Yeah.
He goes, hot? I go, yes. And I had a hot burrito, and I ate it, and I had really bad hiccups, and I think... I think I was wearing a Death Leopard or Motley Crue shirt.
Sick.
And I was just hiccuping like...
On like the light rail?
On the light rail home from Denver.
And there was a prom going on that same night?
No, I think it was actually homecoming because
that would make sense. It was in October.
So the whole thing was just high school kids dressed up.
That's pretty good, dude.
I'm also thinking that I probably like helped a couple people shift in the right direction.
Yeah,
on that train.
I don't ever want to be that guy.
I never want to be that human. So if you're listening to this at any point, you're fucking welcome.
What a hero.
With that being said, what do we fucking talk about tonight, Pete?
Well, we're gonna just kind of start off with some sponsors. As Jamie started us with, we are drinking Mytholaboo.
Oh, sorry, I got a giant hair in my mouth.
Thank you for that.
I don't think it was yours.
We mixed Mythology vodka and Malibu rum because Jamie said that they do flavor vodkas all the time. So we decided to do a rum flavored vodka.
It's not coconut flavored vodka.
Coconut rum flavored vodka.
Yes.
So we made our own thing, and I'm honestly going to say it was pleasant.
Well, if you think
it's very sweet.
When you throw a little pineapple juice in that, you got yourself Mytholaboo Delight.
Mytholaboo Delight.
Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna serve her some Mytholaboo Delight.
Yep. Okay.
Exactly.
So that's what we have for our liquor sponsor for this episode. For our beer sponsor, we have Juice Caboose from Westbound and Down out of, you said Aspen?
I'm pretty sure it's Aspen.
Colorado?
And it's
Lafayette?
also Denver. They bought out a lot of things.
Okay.
Lafayette.
Either way, Colorado beer.
I went to their brew house in Aspen once.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought this is a very Aspen name of a brewery.
Westbound and Down. Anyways, we got the Juice Caboose. Hazy India Pale Ale. 7.2% by volume. We got a whole pint here. Jamie, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't like hazy IPAs at all. But
see, it's interesting that it's not a juicy IPA. Is it? There's a difference between hazy and juicy?
Hazy is unfiltered, where juicy is filtered.
Okay.
They're both very similar on a hop profile.
Yeah.
But hazy's a unfiltered beer.
Okay.
Which that means is they don't like sift through it at the end.
Interesting.
That's why it gives you that like orange juice kind of look, like with pulp.
Okay. Yeah. With pulp and without pulp is
exactly.
your traditional IPA versus your
No, not traditional,
your-
just like a
your
juicy version.
versus a hazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
a traditional IPA is just like different hops.
See, I'm just interested though because it's called Juice Caboose, and I didn't realize this until just now, but it's a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense.
Means it's unfiltered.
It'd be like calling it like, you know, something lager. It's a stout, or maybe like a pilsner.
Well, so like I said right before this, a juicy IPA and a hazy IPA are pretty much the similar profile,
Yeah.
other than
They're filtered or
filtered.
unfiltered.
So yeah, so what I mean is they usually use the same hops.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a Citra.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get, I guess, mostly Citra hop is the big one.
Okay.
From both of those.
Wow, look at me learning.
Yeah.
I'm not a big IPA drinker.
Me neither. I just said that.
But yeah, I got these because they had like rainbow colors all over them, and we'll get into this later.
Far out, dude.
But we both went and saw Death of Unicorn, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the episode. But I felt like it was fitting for what we were going to be talking about.
Makes sense to me.
Anyways,
what else are we talking about?
Those are our unofficial sponsors.
What else are we talking about? I just asked a question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sassy today.
That's okay. You're normally sassy. Maybe you're just aware of it more today.
Touche, dog.
I think after we do sponsors, we pretty much go into fucking hell on earth, dude.
Okay.
Do you want to start us off, or do you want me to start off? I've got some updates. If you want me to, I can do some updates real quick.
Update me, baby.
All right. So, first update that I've got is going to be about the Menendez brothers. We talked about this around the new year. There was going to be a resentencing hearing for them to potentially be released, specifically after this like crazy Netflix documentary came out and everyone got like super defensive and saying that, oh, the Menendez brothers need to be let loose because their dad like abused them.
It was TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok started it, and then
they made
Netflix
Ryan Murphy
made
a whole Netflix series about it. People started losing their minds over the fact that these guys went to prison.
They still murdered their parents.
The new LA district attorney reversed the previous administration's. So the guy that was gonna do it lost in the election bid in October. So the new DA came in and said, "Oh yeah, we're like not gonna do that." So I don't know. What are your thoughts on having this whole thing reversed? You kind of already said it, and I have the same feeling. These guys were like, yes, there's pretty significant evidence that they were abused by their dad, but they did murder them in very like cold blood. It was like planned. They had like thought about it for a while, and they also killed the mom, who didn't seem to have any complicit like nature in any of this. Maybe she knew about it and that's why they killed her, but they definitely like murdered these two people very violently. And I don't know. I don't have a ton of sympathy for that. So any different thoughts on that?
No, like I literally said, like they murdered their parents. Yes, I understand. Like TikTok children are very upset because they also have a hard time when their parents don't listen to them or tell them like. And like, I'm not going to say that
but there are
like,
consequences to your actions, no matter what they are.
I'm not going to say that like. I'm not going to lowercase the fact that they were like severely abused.
Yeah.
By their parents.
Yeah.
But that. You can't.
It doesn't justify murder.
You can't murder people.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to, you have to do it like 80s movie style, where you figure out how to like no one ever asks a question, or like take one from the Dixie Chicks, where they just like figure out how to bury Earl and no one cares less.
They put him in a lake, dude.
Yeah.
Friggin' lek.
They sold strawberry jam after that.
After that,
I'm saying like you can't be like, yes, just because I was severely abused by my dad. Both things can be true. Yeah.
You can be assaulted and also have accountability for your actions after that.
I think about Radio Flyer. You ever seen Radio Flyer?
Like the wagon?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Radio Flyer?
No.
Well, you should.
Okay.
It is a tear jerker.
Wow.
And it's It's
It's
an 80s
not
movie.
radio with Cuba Gooding
No,
Jr.
it's an 80. It's an 80s. I just like you said radio. It's an 80s movie called Radio Flyer.
Yep.
And the thing in the end is they build a way to send one of the kids in a radio flyer, like fly him away from his dad who abuses him so much.
Yeah.
He abuses both of the kids, but the oldest brother builds a radio flyer to fly him away from his abusive dad.
Yeah, good.
There are other ways out.
Yeah. How did that go for
Menendez?
him?
I don't know.
No, did he didn't just do it. He didn't just fly away.
Well, there wasn't a radio flyer too, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Either way. Go on.
Cool. So we nailed that one. I think that the DA is like, no, these guys aren't going to get resentenced. They're still serving their sentences. I think that we can pretty much like, you can still be held accountable for your actions, even though you were assaulted by someone.
Yeah.
I think that that's where we've landed on this. And I think it's ready to move on for another, just because we were just looking into this, and I think that it's also important. Luigi Mangione, this is another update. The guy who is the alleged killer of the United Healthcare CEO is being tried for the death penalty in this case. I think that's a little extreme, considering he murdered one person. And obviously, like, yes, it was certainly calculated. We're also assuming that Luigi did it, which he has not put any admission of guilt in. I know, like, pleas have been made or anything like that. So I think that it's Pamela Bondi, who is now the U.S. Like the head of the U.S. Department of Justice, is the one that has made this claim that he will be tried for the death penalty for this. I think they're, one, like, hoping to make an example out of him, and two, like, they're just hoping to also just cause more chaos.
Yeah,
this.
if you do this, that, like, heads are going to roll.
Yeah,
like, people literally bought out every single Luigi, like, hat from the Mario Brothers after
the Amazon store was empty.
Yeah, because of this. So I don't think that's a bold move, Cotton, but I'm not the director of.
Yeah, I think that I don't know what, and I've seen it a couple times, like, online, people like saying, oh yeah, this guy in, like, Louisiana murdered, like, 6 children and, like, had, like, raped them all, is, like, up for parole, or was sentenced to, like, 15 years with parole eligibility and, like, 10, or, like, like these other cases that are, like, horrific cases where, like, people aren't getting the death penalty, and this one is, and it seems that it's very
it's definitely for show.
Political.
This is a show, for show thing. Don't fuck with rich people, dude, or they're gonna fuck with you.
You're gonna die. You're not gonna get normal.
Dude,
you're not gonna get normal treatment.
No one will
get,
question it.
Yep. So, sweet. Do you want to talk about? So those are the updates that I have.
Yeah. So I have a story that just came in today.
This is a brand new story.
Happened today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a 49-year-old man was shot by New York Police Department officers today after the New York NYPD. Today's the 6th.
Yep. Of April.
He's believed to have left 4 girls with serious stab wounds. So basically, he stabbed all 4 of his nieces.
Why?
I don't know.
I guess it just happened. We have no idea.
You want me to make something up?
No, dude, you know what we'll do?
Them.
This is a perfect example. So, like, I think what I've started to do is, like, maybe I'll do one of my Hell on Earth stories is going to do, like, I'll take a couple minutes like we just did to just do some updates on cases we've talked about before. This is a crazy story. So none of the girls have died yet?
Not that I know of. So this is how it started, is the 11-year-old, who's the oldest, called
young.
It says, a man allegedly attacked 4 young girls with a meat cleaver in Brooklyn, New York, before police shot and apprehended him after one of the victims called 911. So the police department, or the NYPD, first responded to the scene of 16 blah blah blah, who cares, at 10:15 a.m. local time Sunday after an 11-year-old girl called 911 to report assault in progress, telling the authorities that she and her siblings were stabbed by her uncle.
That's crazy. With a meat cleaver.
Yep. So
Who does this guy think he's like a fucking horror movie villain?
it
Who
seems
uses
so.
meat cleavers anymore?
Or butchers. That's the only other person.
Exactly.
Maybe this guy was
the
a butcher.
only
Yeah.
person.
So there were
Fucking nuts.
an 8-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 6-year-old, 16-year-old. Sorry.
Okay.
So the 11-year-old is the one who called the cops.
Was the one who called? Damn. Okay. Well,
So I'll say real quick before. So at this time, all 4 children are expected to survive.
Okay.
So it's a light stabbing, but still, what the fuck?
A light stabbing. A dabble, a stabble, dude.
You think this guy's just like high on meth, just like
Like wrong. Got it. Yeah.
Don't bring your work.
Don't bring your work home with you, folks. Leave it at the office.
Exactly.
Especially if you're a
This
butcher
is so
and you're living with your 4 nieces.
I don't know if he's living. We know nothing about this.
He
Other
just,
than
you know what? They were probably visiting Auntie whatever, and he showed up after working a fucking long, hard day, and they're running around screaming, and he just straight up wanted to have a beer, sit down, and he couldn't, so he just lost his shit.
See, I think you're profiling.
Why?
Well, I like the story you're saying in your head, but
it's wrong.
it's not
It's
gonna
definitely not.
make up the fact that this is not a fucked up story.
No, like we said earlier, you are held accountable for your actions no matter what has pushed you to that point.
Exactly.
Whether it is that your wife decided to host an 11-year-old's birthday party and all of her siblings were there, or something.
I don't
along
think
those
that's
lines.
true.
Okay, you were still held accountable for your actions no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay, we will update on that one.
Let's hope so.
So I've been following this. So this is gonna, I think, end our Helena's segment. But have you heard about the Linköping double murder? This happened like almost 20 years ago. I know that I've like listened to Linköping. It's in Sweden. So I've
elaborate.
listened to a couple podcasts, and I've been interested in this case because up until I guess 2020, this case. So in 2004, in Linköping, Sweden, an 8-year-old boy, Muhammad Amori, and 56-year-old Anna-Lena Svensson, were stabbed in the middle of their town park, like in broad daylight, not at night. But it was strange because the case went like completely cold. It was huge news. Everyone's like, what the fuck happened? And not a single witness saw anything. They had no leads until 2020 when this guy, Daniel Nyquist, was arrested for these crimes. Now they found him because of the same way that they found most of the other people we've been talking about lately, genetic or like forensic genealogy.
Yeah.
So they traced it back to him, and just this week, so they find this guy, and he has no criminal record, has not ever had any run-ins with the law. It's like squeaky clean. But what happened during the attack is that one of the attackers fought back and they hit him, and some blood landed, I think, on like their clothes or something like that. And so they were able to test that and run it through like the forensic genealogy. But just this week, he was sentenced to, get this, indefinite psychiatric care.
So a mental home?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fancy way of calling a mental home.
I was just I was interested in this case like quite a while ago.
What's your job? I am a water technician.
I didn't
you're
see
a dishwasher. You're a dishwasher, sir.
I didn't see what this guy's job was. I don't know a ton about him. But it seemed that the crime was completely random. He like hadn't targeted these people. He like had like a weird frenzy where he just went out and like ran into these people and decided to kill them. So I don't know. I would just more wanting to discuss like what our thoughts are on this forensic genealogy. I know
Okay.
it kind of weirds me out. It's solving
Why?
all of these old cases. I don't know. I just think that there's
And also, it may not also 100% be true. Like, how do you completely confirm Jack the Ripper from this?
yeah, exactly.
I was like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it seems like someone that's just like, hey, look what I did. Make me known.
Yep.
This is what we used.
Yeah.
And because I've literally looked it up like days later and found like nothing else more about it.
Yep.
So that's how I feel about it until there's like,
Yeah, I'm skeptical. Like you have to be able to like we've talked about in like the Moscow murders, like it led them to a suspect. Then they were able to tie all this other evidence in. Like even to like our first case though, like there was not, in my opinion, like a ton of like information except until like, you know, we had like him trying to like go over the past and stuff like that. But like I think you can use it as a tool, but it can't be used to get a conviction.
Exactly.
Right? It can lead you to someone, but the evidence needs to be there. And I don't know all the details of this case. But
well, why not?
I'm sorry. That's
what
we're
you
just
do. That's what
bullshitting
you do
about
to
it.
me all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, why do you
don't-
not know everything about this? What do you mean? I've never heard of. I've
that's
never
what I
listened to
normally
this.
do.
Why would you not tell me everything I need to know about it?
You're not wrong.
You're
It's just
goddamn
like,
right. I'm not.
when
wrong.
I find these like things, I'm like, I have to like hear like everything about it.
Well,
So I don't have a ton of information.
we're gonna goddamn don't figure it out. You know, we'll go from there once we have more information on it.
And then the second thing after the genetic,
Right.
just like, what's the deal with? This is my Jerry Seinfeld thing.
What's the deal with Q-tips?
What's the deal with the differences between like the penal system in the United States versus seemingly, let's call it Europe, but like other developed countries, where like, to me, it's very interesting that this guy murdered 2 people in broad daylight, and was full, like within his capacities and everything like that. And they're like, hey, you just like, you need to be in an asylum and we're going to help you through this. Versus like, if you kill someone in the United States, they're going to put you to death. In the case of Luigi.
Certain places. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Are
just
you saying that you prefer the. Oh no, that sounded terrible.
No, it's good. It's
Okay.
little clips on my knee brace so I can bend my leg because I've been sitting here straight leg for a little bit.
So I think this kind of, you're saying the difference between England and United States on like how their like trial system is.
Yeah.
This kind of makes me think the same about like Canada and USA, what they describe as like a serial killer. So Canada's like, we've only had 3 serial killers in the past 300 years.
Yeah.
And everything I look up, it's like, there's
a couple of them.
Another fucking murder is happening in Canada.
Yeah.
And I'm like, liars.
I think, in my opinion, I think that there's just like so much
everyone
money.
like tries to make it seem like it's a little bit better than USA. Like, oh, well, we trial people.
Well, so what I like have kind of like dug in, like especially in like these like Scandinavian countries, the prison systems are run by the state, right? Versus in the United States, we have for-profit prisons, and the most more people you have,
most of them are for profit.
Yeah,
not all of them.
Not all of them,
There's
for sure.
A lot of state funded
Yeah,
ones.
there are
like
definitely state penitentiaries.
Where the big killers go to, usually state.
Yeah. So, but I think that there's something to be said for like, send people to jail because there's an industry lobbying to have people sent to jail.
Give me that sweet seat money, government.
Yep, exactly. So I don't know.
You're just getting mad at me for asking for food stamps? I don't do that. I'm just joking.
You're not wrong though.
No, it's true.
So I think that just the way the fact that we have
Jesus, thanks for making me chicken. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's my Chick-fil-A song.
Because they're not open on Sundays. Man. I don't know. whenever there's like strange discrepancies in the way that people do things, you have to like examine them and be like, why are they so different? And I think that that's what it leads me to, is like, why the fuck is our prison system so inundated with people that maybe don't need to be there, or like it's just treated, people are just treated so much differently in American prisons.
We also live
versus-
here.
Yeah.
So we also hear more about what's happening here
100%
compared to what happens in Europe.
Yeah.
So I'm sure if we're two young blokes sitting here podcasting in Liverpool, we're probably like, I can't believe fucking
That's what they
Europe
sound
is so
like
much
there.
crazier. USA has better guidelines. Like, yeah, it's all how things are manipulated.
Yeah.
In my personal and professional opinion.
Yeah, because they're probably upset. They're like, what the hell? This guy that just murdered 2 people is only going to like a psych ward, and he's gonna like be able to like wander around and like have TV and like get like psychiatric need and help that he like is most likely in need of. And they're pissed off about that, and we're pissed off about like, man, why did that person that sold some drugs have to go to the same prison that murdered 6 people?
Precisely.
Yep. All right.
Where are we? I got distracted.
Unless you've got anything else for Hell on Earth, I think we are moving.
I sure don't, dude.
All right. We are going to move on to horror news.
Horrors news.
Do you watch any good movies?
I only watched the one.
You watched the one? Okay. Well, then I'm going to go first.
Okay. I watched the one with you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We already talked about it. We did watch Death of a Unicorn.
We'll talk.
But I'm going to just say that for anyone that has not seen Hell House LLC, you need to fucking go watch it. It is, I know that you're not a huge fan of found footage film. It is the best found footage movie I've ever seen.
Well, it's definitely like, it's been out since 2016.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, it's not new.
There's like 9 of them.
I went back and watched the first one.
It's very good.
It's so fucking good. The amount of suspense they're able to build, and they have these sections where, you know, a lot of the found footage movies like kind of like starts and ends with the footage, and they actually do a good job of like pulling out of that into like quick documentary type, and then back into the found footage to where they're kind of like breaking up the action a little bit. But man, this movie is good. It is suspenseful. There's like the one scene where this guy wakes up and there's a girl in the room with him that was like, I don't remember being like legitimately scared in a movie. Like, because I've seen it before and I just completely forgot about it through all the horror movies. It is like the suspense in that scene is fucking phenomenal. And there's a reason why it's rated so high and why it blows every other found footage horror movie out of the water.
Exactly.
It is so good.
Yeah. Well, see, I said that about Smile too, and you were like, I don't know, that movie was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't think the movie was terrible.
Maybe you just don't have anxiety like I do.
Could be that.
I was anxious
Could
the
be
entire
that.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel the same way about Hell House, where it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, just like felt the whole time I was like anxious because like, what the fuck is going to happen?
Know that
what the fuck is going to happen?
That's sort of the problem I think with a lot of found footage, is that it takes so long to get to the suspense, and like pretty early, like I'd say like within the first 15 minutes or so of the movie, you start to see like strange, weird things happening, and then they just keep happening. So like versus like, you know, Paranormal Activity or, you know, even like the Blair Witch, stuff like that, like it takes a little bit to get into the movie, whereas this starts early and then it just hammers that tension for the whole movie. It is phenomenal.
Agree.
One of the best horror movies I can think of off the top of my head. So if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yes. You also mentioned that maybe they have a new one coming out.
Yeah. So the reason why I decided to watch it is because this fall, Hell House Lineage is going to be dropping. Hell House LLC Lineage. So it's got to be like the 5th or the 6th. Let me just look it up real quick.
I'm pretty sure it's very close to that.
Hell House Lineage release date, October 2025.
So how many Hell House movies did you look that up?
So it will be the 5th.
Computer Club. Yep.
So Hell House Lineage will be released directly to Shudder October 2025. So do yourself a favor. go back through and definitely watch the first one. Check out the third one. You can skip the second one if you'd like.
But still just watch it too.
Yeah, just
It's
watch
fine.
them all so that they make sense. But yeah, and I have not seen the fourth one, but I'm very excited to go through this whole series, and maybe this is one that we cover live or like do a full deep dive on.
Live?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know. It's so good. This first one.
I'm also into it.
So, anyways, that may happen. That may not
And then
happen.
if you're in,
What?
put your hole out. Put your hole out, and then we'll confirm it. There you go.
Heard, dude.
Oh, yours is wet.
Yeah. Wait, how else would you do it, dude?
I'm just trying to make you
I
feel
want you going dry.
All right. Anywho, so
no horror movies for you, except for
yeah. So I spent a lot of time. Apparently, Peter's really excited too. This past week was CinemaCon.
Oh.
Yeah, Peter now knows about this because I told him about it a couple days ago. So this is very similar to Comic-Con, where they like put out a bunch of movies, but this is all just about movies, and that's it.
Yep.
So a lot of movie companies put out like first takes or trailers this week.
Yep.
So the biggest ones that
this is for the rest of the year, right?
yeah, so for basically what's going on for this year
25,
and
26.
possibly next year. Yeah. So the biggest things that we got this week was the first Five Nights at Freddy's
Okay.
2
Yep.
trailer, which that movie will be coming out this fall.
Okay.
We got the new Megan, Megan 2.0,
Yep.
which is drastically kind of shifted from like more horror to very horror comedy.
Okay.
Well, I also
She's not banging anyone yet?
Well, I also now I don't think they get older.
What was the movie that came out recently? Sorry that I'm doing this right now. We didn't talk about it. That had Megan Fox as like the Megan robot.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before. That came out like last year.
Subservience?
Yeah, something like that. But while you look that up, I'll talk about this. There was the way that they like promoted it, where they gave out shirts that said like "Forget your vagina" or "Bring your vagina."
Why?
I don't know.
For Megan?
Yes.
So they're
But
definitely.
there was a part in the trailer where it was just like she said like "Bring your vagina."
It's a sex robot movie.
I don't think so. You thought, I don't know if you remember.
Oh,
when
I
you
know.
first
I
brought
remember.
it
This is
up,
episode
that you
one.
were just like,
this is deep
where
cut.
we fucked, someone fucked that robot. I'm like, no, I think you watched the wrong movie.
Yeah, but then cut to like a little bit later, Subservience came out, and that's definitely what happened.
Oh, she was definitely like a sex robot in that movie.
Yep.
All right,
Okay.
where are we at? I'm going to look this up real quick. Say something funny, please.
Okay, so Megan, but like you're saying the thing that everyone's talking about it is like bring their vagina.
I'm looking that up right now.
Okay.
So you can't like, if I'm telling you to bring like,
My guess is that it's a sex robot thing. Unless everyone like me was confused by the first movie.
there you go. Hold on to your vaginas.
It's a sex movie. Dude.
Megan 2.0 tells you to hold on to your vaginas. Obviously, she in this picture has a couple pit vipers on. Yes, hold on to your vaginas. Ooh. I mean, it's meant for the ladies.
Oh, do you think Megan's a boy this time?
No, I think it means like instead of this is going to be a wild ride, like hold on to them so they don't get lost.
Fall off?
No, I don't know. We are definitely shooting through the roof right here. Anyways, it was quite the controversy on the internet. People are like, what the fuck? Why is this robot talking about vaginas? But that's what it was. Hold on to your vagina.
Okay.
So
interesting.
The next movie that I saw from CinemaCon was called Him.
Yep.
And this is the new
This is a Jordan Peele one?
Or he produces it.
Okay.
He doesn't direct.
He's not directing?
It. He's just a producer. So it stars Marlon Williams. And
that's not the right name. I'm looking at the article. Marlon Wayans?
Williams? I'm sorry. Would you like to tell the story then?
Well, it's the dude that does all the scary movies.
Yes, Wayans. Yeah. Williams, what I said. Wayans, I'm sorry. All right, go on.
No, I don't know much about this, but I know that Marlon Wayans is the name you were looking
you're right.
at.
You're right. Sorry, I got so mad at you. I hate when you interrupt me.
I'm interrupting you because you said the wrong name.
Fair enough. So this is being said as one of the first ever sports horror movies. This is a football themed horror movie.
It's about CTE. I already saw the
I don't think so.
The documentary about Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
No.
You sure?
No.
Okay.
You just say things.
I'm not just saying.
They're saying it's kind of like Rudy.
What?
But it's also nothing like Rudy. Is what they said.
Who are you citing for these?
HollywoodReporter.com right now.
Okay.
So what I know about it is Marlon Wayans is like an old sports figure.
Uh-huh.
And he like has a mentor of a kid that I think like hurt himself in high school football.
Okay.
And grabs him under his wing and ends up being like a murderer.
The kid or the older guy?
Marlon Williams.
Okay. Huh.
There's not much to like see about this because I think
they didn't have a trailer for it.
No.
Oh.
But it's supposed to hit.
But
theaters.
It was released.
Yes.
Or like they had
talked about it. So this is supposed to hit theaters.
Okay.
October 23rd.
I got
2026.
Oh.
Yeah. So they basically
that's a long ways out.
Yeah. So basically they were just like, hey,
we're bringing up.
This is a movie we're doing.
Yep. Bringing a big movie to you folks. Okay. Interesting. You also mentioned that you were going to cover Bring Her Back.
No, I thought you were.
Oh, I don't know a ton about the movie. I just saw the trailer.
Yeah, I did mention that.
Okay.
I was going to bring it up.
Then why are you doing this?
Because it's funny that you're like, you also said that you were going to bring this up. I'm like, yes.
No, we talked before this. In case you guys didn't know. I know it doesn't sound like we plan anything at all, but we do.
You always like to steal my thunder. That's why I bring it up.
Oh.
Because I wanted to give the suspense of it. Like, I also had this. You're like,
well, just cut it out, dude. We'll go right.
No, it's okay. You're always like, hey, so I know that you're going to talk about this. Could you please talk about this? It like kind of like it makes
I don't mean to steal.
I know that. Dude. I know, but I feel like
I'm sorry. I'm a thunder thief, dude.
I know you're not an only child.
No.
Are you the youngest child?
No.
So you're the oldest? What are you?
Yeah.
Is it because you live with a kid? Is this why you like have to like be the one that projects things first?
I don't know.
I'm just
up wondering, thinking about this.
Maybe I'm just sensitive to this.
Maybe. I don't know.
So yeah. I did want to talk about this. I did want to talk about this movie that you sold all thunder to. So
I don't know anything about it.
So why don't you tell me what do you know about it?
I know it's an A24 movie, and I know that it has to do with cults, I believe, and maybe like kids being sacrificed. I'm not totally sure.
Oh. Well, who directed it?
Don't know.
At all?
Then what?
So this is the same directors from Talk to Me.
Okay.
Directors and writers from Talk to Me. So this is why it's a big deal, is because it's the next new movie from the hit two Australian directors and writers that made Talk to Me.
Okay. And this is their second movie?
Yes.
Talk to Me was their debut?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
So
I did not know that.
Before they did Talk to Me, they literally did Mortal Kombat YouTube videos where them and their friends acted like they were fighting each other and did like real life fatalities.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that's where they were found.
Some good effects.
Yes. Yeah. And they pitched there's a really actually a good like hour and a half long like YouTube video on their YouTube channel of them pitching Talk to Me at Sundance.
Okay.
and it was super fun to watch.
Huh.
But yeah, this is their second movie, and like Peter just said, that's pretty much all that they have.
Yeah,
They're
I've
gonna tell you
seen
about
one
it.
of the trailers, and it's like very obscure.
Yes.
Did not give a whole lot of information. There was like a kid that was like maybe walking down a hallway, and it like stops next to a door or something.
Mhm.
Is that? I think that's like it. That's what I remember.
That's all. Literally, that's all I remember.
Okay.
So this movie comes out May 30th, only in theaters.
Oh,
And this is probably
2025.
Yes, it's literally next month.
We're like a month out.
No shit. That's why I said
dude.
it. All right. With that being said, Peter, you were going to talk about Death of a Unicorn, right?
Did you want to touch on Toxic Avenger?
Oh, if you want to.
I don't know a whole lot about it.
I really don't either.
I know that it's what's his name from Game of Thrones?
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
He's a little Toxic Avenger. I'm sure he does not like that. Yeah, I forgot we were going to bring that up. But this movie has been...
I know because I have the show notes just for everyone that's like, why the fuck does he keep saying what he's gonna say?
Well, he keeps wanting.
I have the
you
show
just
notes.
keep wanting to steal my thunder all the time.
No, you don't
You're
have
like
the notes, so you're like, I don't know
the
what we're
younger
talking
brother
about.
that wants to steal everything from me, and I'm very mad right now.
You already said that you don't remember things great, so I don't either, but I write them down at least.
I'm just fucking with Peter, so everyone knows.
Okay,
it's fine. So yes, we also wanted to mention the fact that the Toxic Avenger, which is a remake from the Troma classic from the 80s, has been in development, or actually I think this movie has been made for a couple years already, but no one wants to put it out.
I mean, is it an A24 movie?
No, it's no one. No one has it.
What?
No, like...
Anyways, I've seen a trailer for it, and it looks really gory, really.
Well, let's just say there's a teaser trailer. There's not a full teaser or trailer out.
Yeah,
and it's like literally him like walking into a
fucking burger
and
joint.
just fucking destroying everyone.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen the original, so I don't know exactly what the story is. But
you've never seen?
I don't know who the Toxic Avenger is, dude.
You've never seen Toxic Avenger?
No, I'm just a little baby, dude.
Have you ever watched any Troma movies?
Yeah. I don't know, like I can't like off the top of my head like tell you what would count for that.
So Cannibal the Musical is one.
Okay.
Do you remember that? From the South Park?
No.
So
I know that Trey Parker, Matt Stone did that.
Yeah, that's their first movie.
I've seen Poultrygeist.
Have you seen what's the punk rock high school one?
Nukem High.
Class of Nukem High.
Yeah, I've seen Nukem High for sure. Let's see. I have not seen a lot of these though.
Ooh. Oh, so yes, it is definitely releasing. Now, August 29th, Labor Day weekend, it's releasing. So we said Peter Dinklage.
Yep.
Who is Tyrion Lannister.
Yep.
He's also a little fella, which this is rude to say. But it's
Clown Camp Max.
It's also pretty awesome that he's that, like, for Toxic Avenger, because the original Toxic Avenger was like fucking 8 foot tall.
Really?
Yes. So I think it's really awesome that the new Toxic Avenger is like 4 foot tall and just fucking destroys people.
Yeah, it's super brutal. The teaser, the kills are like ridiculous. So that's exciting.
Yes, but those are everything I'm super excited about that I saw for trailer wise.
Yep. Not trailer wise.
Uh-huh.
You watched Death of a Unicorn.
I did.
With me.
I did.
Hell yeah, dude. We had a mandate.
We did. Our girlfriends were not mad at us, and so they let us.
Not even a little bit. Yeah, we went and saw Death of a Unicorn. We talked about this. Man, was that just last episode?
It was, as we're talking, it was last episode.
Yeah, well, I
But
guess 2
before
episodes
we post
ago.
this,
Yeah.
it was 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it just came out.
Yep. Yeah, because it had just about released last time we talked
As
about
we're
it.
talking, it's been a
So,
week out. So
yep.
we're going to give spoilers because it's literally going to be like a month after it happened.
Also, like, I don't think that this movie is one of those ones that, like, if you know it, like, I don't think there's a whole lot of twist to it that would, like, we're not going to really spoil anything. I don't think.
No, there's really nothing to spoil.
Yeah. What would
Mytholobu, sir?
Mytholobu is?
What would you say?
I thought that the movie was good. It was not what I thought it was going to be, though. I think last time we talked, I was like, yeah, I think it's going to be like a Knives Out mystery kind of thing. Just because we know that there's these super rich people that are involved.
Also,
I thought it was going to be like a mystery kind of thing. I don't think it was very mysterious, really, at all. It was, I don't know, I'd call it a straight up monster movie.
I agree, exactly.
Not what I expected, but apparently Pretty Little Unicorns can also be fucking monsters. And I think that's, not to spoil anything, but unicorns can fuck shit up.
Oh, yeah.
They're brutal.
And I definitely say that was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Was just like how like these 2 dark unicorns just destroyed shit.
Yep.
I will say that I thought that the writing in this movie was very flat.
Yeah.
I thought it was nothing like that blew me away. And usually I have no problem with this in horror movies, but I think it's the fact that how many like big actors were in this.
Yep.
It made me think that they were literally going to have like this was going to be good acting.
Yeah.
And this was going to be good writing.
Yep.
And I did not think that at all.
I thought that the acting was what, like, you can't, I guess it's really hard to have great acting when you don't have great writing.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
so
I thought that
I'll agree that the
people
writing was
like,
terrible.
especially like, I think that Jenna Ortega did well. I think that Paul Rudd did well. I thought that Will Poulter was the best character of the entire show.
yes.
Because he was like, I don't know, naturally he's like very like expressive, like just his face is one of those like very like, I don't know, animated faces, I would say. And it served his character, who is this like spoiled rich kid. He did really well playing that character. But yes, all the characters were like very flat. I think I have like a very small amount.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I think it bothered me just like how much of a little pussy Paul Rudd was.
Yeah.
Just because I love Paul Rudd so much.
Yeah.
And like the fact that how much he didn't have Jenna Ortega, his daughter's back.
Yeah.
The whole time. It drove me crazy.
Yeah.
And it also drove me crazy just how much Jenna Ortega was like, well, listen to me, damn it.
Yeah.
I know so much. And everyone's like,
Exactly.
ha ha ha.
Well, it's just like,
You're like, well, like there's fucking unicorns out there. Like maybe listen to her.
yeah.
Instead of like blowing her off.
It also just felt very like the premise was like, oh, it's like another trauma movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not trauma, but like it's another trauma movie where like she's upset because of the mom and like, I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
Like
mom would have listened to me.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
And like that's
Yes,
why like
I get
she
that.
can see these things that no one else can. Although, but I think that was more to do with the fact that she touched the unicorn. But
yes.
but like that she's like so bothered because like she doesn't have a good relationship with her dad because he's so busy with work, and mom, she misses her so much because she's the only one that ever cared about her, and Paul Rudd also misses her. Like it was a very like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like a money grab movie, but it felt kind of like that like there wasn't a lot of development. The characters were very like boxed.
Uh-huh.
Like
I agree completely.
the rich people were the rich people and they fucking sucked the entire movie.
Other than
And-
Will
No, I
Poulter
mean, like
was-
even him, he was
Yeah.
still a piece of shit.
yeah, the whole
entire
time. But he was like
movie.
I agree with you. He was like a good piece of shit.
Yeah,
You were like,
he was great.
yeah,
at
he
his
was like,
character.
yes.
But his character was really, like you said, flat.
Mhm.
Same with Paul Rudd's character. We've seen that character or that, that person in a story. Same with Jenna Ortega. We've seen all of those characters so often and so frequently, especially in horror movies, that there's the daughter who can see what's happening. And no one wants to listen to her because she's traumatized by what happened to her mom and nothing works anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I felt, the same way, that it was definitely flat as far as like the storyline
Well, I
went.
think I also wanted this to be like a little bit better because there's nothing that's been like this. There's been
Yeah,
no
dude.
other like movie that's like, let's take fucking. I don't know that many movies other than like maybe the 80s movie about unicorns.
I'm trying to, now that you mention it, I can't think of the last time
Like the Last Unicorn was the last movie that I know. Like, can talk
and
about.
it was
It literally
the last unicorn until 2025.
Yeah. So the whole fact that this was such a like ingenious like topic
Yeah.
or concept,
The unicorn becomes the monster, which it
So,
never is perceived as.
I think that's what upset me. The fact that it was just not.
Yeah.
It was just
It felt a little phoned in.
where like if I
You
went
have
to
a good idea and then you just
Yeah.
like kind of let the idea be the story
Mhm.
and not do a whole lot of work on the back end.
where if this was just like a regular horror movie I watched in the movie theater, I've been like, yeah, it's not so bad. Like
Yeah.
I'm like because I'm used
Yeah, I
to
mean,
it.
we went and saw the monkey and it was
Yeah.
like very
Yeah,
like played out.
Exactly.
But it was done well enough to like be funny. Like I didn't think this movie was that funny. Like Will Poulter is the only funny part of the movie. Paul
Yes.
Rudd
No.
kind of sucks.
It was like a cuck.
Yeah. Jenna Ortega is like really whiny, and like this is not anything on these actors. It's just
No,
the characters
that
that
was
they were
what
written
was-
to play
How it's written.
kind of sucked
Yes.
and were boring. So like Tia Leone is the same way. She was like the rich hoity-toity wife that has like not ever had to work at a day in her life because she married rich or like married into money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen all these characters before and they didn't bother at all to like, yes, we have this character, but they have this twist to them kind of thing.
Exactly.
It was very,
We'll just say bad writing.
cut and paste.
We'll suck it up to. Unfortunately, this was not good writing.
Yep.
Great concept.
Yep. And the unicorns were fucking
great
good
actors,
CGI.
great CGI.
Yep.
Action, fucking awesome. Writing, not good.
Terrifying, really. The unicorns
No,
were
I loved
definitely
it.
fucking scary. But just a little.
I also liked that the unicorns like somewhat like had like a heart for Jenna Ortega. They like cared. They're like, hey, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. I like that. But
was that? I mean, like, why was that? Was that because
they agreed to bring back the whole thing they wanted to do was they wanted to get their kid back.
Yes,
who Jenna Ortega
was trying to save.
Yes, or who they hit. They
Yep.
hit that baby, and the mom and dad want
the baby back,
and the rich
baby
people
back, baby
didn't
back,
want
baby
it.
back.
Exactly. I want my baby back, baby back.
Chili's
baby.
baby back ribs. Okay.
But all the rich people they wanted to keep it and they wanted to cure cancer and everything, which is awesome, or make a lot of money. And so everyone that didn't want to bring back that unicorn got murdered. And Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, they're like, we'll spare you because you just wanted to bring me my daughter or whatever.
Yep. There was some weird, like, I don't want to call them like psychedelic experiences, but some other like kind of otherworldly,
existentialism,
dimension type experiences.
Other world when you grab the horn.
Mm-hmm.
And only Paul
which
Rudd,
was crazy.
Only Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega did that.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
But anyways, okay movie.
Anywho,
what do you recommend people go watch it?
I recommend
definitely. I would say don't pay money to go see it. If it's on your streaming service, I could say go see it.
I'd say if you're 20 or 18 to a 26-year-old woman or a little girl.
Yeah.
Girl,
yep,
you like this?
Yeah, if you're
very geared towards women, like a very like, hey, like listen to me.
it was empowering.
Yes,
Or however you want to say that, but yeah.
I don't want to be a shit about it, but I too love like a heroin movie. Like I
Yeah,
love
Train
Resident
Spotting.
Evil.
Oh,
I love. That sounds so great. I mean, I love like a tale of a woman being like uprooted and like just overcomes the awesome odds.
hell yeah, dude.
G.I. Jane,
Yep.
all that shit. But sometimes you're just like, this is the same shit we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
This one was like, very cut and paste
Mhm.
kind of movie where like they took all the things we've already seen and then put them into a movie. The only thing that was original was the unicorns,
yes,
and they were scary as shit
they were
and cool,
very cool.
really cool. Sweet.
All right. Without further ado,
Yeah,
friggin' think we're done here, dude.
I think we're done. We're gonna do.
Don't
I'm gonna
fucking
run a little teaser for our next
don't ever
episode.
talk to me again. How's that sound? We're done here.
I'm freaking. Do you want me to tease or do you want me to
Yeah,
just
tease it out. I was just
All right.
fucking. I was just showing it to you.
You said don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, don't talk. Look over there when you say it.
Don't speak. I know just what you're saying. All right. So next week we are going to be covering superior universal alignment. Now, this is a cult that believes some children were born without souls, a series of brutal murders committed by trusted members of society, and a woman who claimed she was receiving specific instructions from aliens. Next week, we're going to cover superior universal alignment, a modern day cult cloaked in spiritual language and cosmic insanity. It's got secret meetings, powerful allies, kids dying, and a leader who walked away untouched. This is one of the darkest, more disturbing stories we've ever covered. So thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of Drunk and Demonic. And you got to
What do
sign
you
off.
say? What's your stay spooky?
I got another one. You ready?
Oh, you have a new one? Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay wicked, stay weird, stay wasted.
Nice. I like that. Always wear a condom unless you want a baby.
Yeah, don't wear one if you want a baby.